Hello, my name is Peter Gold. I am 22 years old. I am currently doing a Culinary Arts bachelor's degree at the Culinary Arts Academy here in Switzerland. I am born in Thailand and I'm also from America.
Where have you lived in America?
South Dakota, Connecticut, and Florida, and Colorado for about a month and a half.
My name is Daniel Pankeva. I was born in Germany. I live now in Switzerland, in the German side of Switzerland. I'm 37 years old. My job is I work for Swiss Premium. Swiss Premium is a hospitality company here based in Switzerland.
What is your favorite natural location?
Natural location. Probably the Badlands in South Dakota. Just running around as a kid, watching my parents yell at me to come back.
I really enjoy to be on the lake. I hang out a lot with my friends on the lake. We do activities there. Here I have friends, they have a boat, so we can go out into the lake.
Do you believe in climate change?
Yes.
Do you believe in climate change?
I do. 300% more. 500, it's like 1000%. It's a huge problem that I cannot understand the people that doesn't believe in this problem.
Have you witnessed climate change firsthand?
There's a lake in South Dakota by my home in Sturgis, which is on the very west side of South Dakota. And it's also near Mount Rushmore. It's called Pactola Lake and has changed probably over the last 10 years. I've only swam in it once, but it looks different every season I go there. Water is going down, it's lower. It's a reservoir, I believe.
Here in Switzerland, it's quite simple to see with the amount of months that we do ski. There are like many places where a couple of years ago you could do ski or snowboard until the end of April, May, and now I would say the seasons are ending before.
Does climate change affect your work or your school life?
We had a freak snowstorm in April. It snowed a foot. 1 foot of snow. I couldn't believe my eyes. I stood out looking outside my window at 1 o'clock in the morning in April, and I'm like, guys, it's snowing outside, as I posted to my social media, and everyone's like, I'm not excited for this. It could have been rain, it could have been dry weather, but no, we got a foot of snow for 2 days and it was gone.
How does climate change affect your work?
It doesn't affect direct. If we need to do an activity somewhere in a glacier or in a mountain, if we know there is like too much snow or there is no snow, so we can change the activities easily so that it doesn't affect us. This is on the short term, but on the long term, the view is completely different because Switzerland is very famous because of the glaciers, all these mountains, all the beauty that nature that this country has. Tourism industry is a very important industry here in this country, and if we don't have tourists, then it's going to affect like also my job, you know. I believe a lot in science. I really believe in science as a way to see the reality of the world. My family believes a lot in climate change, a lot. My mother is very engaged. She goes to protest and everything that is related with climate change. When I was a student, I was working for a company in Tittlisbergbahnen. I was working only for the winter. I got the opportunity to talk with glaciologists. The information they were like sharing to us, it was really sad. There are some glaciers where they say it's going to disappear in the next years. I don't see the reason why people that study science they would say, okay, no, the glacier is going to disappear. And I mean, like, there is always a reason behind.
Would you say you are alarmed, concerned, or unaffected by climate change?
Alarm not. For example, like I'm also learning with this type of groups. We went to the United Nations, to the World Meteorological Organization, and they give us still hope. Like, it can be worse, but it can be also better. So alarm not, aware yes.
Just concerned, that's about it. I mean, it is getting hotter every day. It's currently 83 degrees outside. It's going to be 87 tomorrow, and then 89 on Thursday.
We are going to see in the next few years that the world is going to be more warm. I would say, like, personally, it doesn't affect me direct, but I believe that if it continues in the same way, it's going to have an impact on my life.
Who do you think is responsible for climate change?
Us as humans. Ever since the Industrial Revolution started in the 1800s, I think that's when it really started affecting, because we started killing things left and right. Overfishing, killing animals, using heavy machinery to farm crops.
Who do you think should solve climate change?
That's hard. If you put politicals in the way, no one's going to give you a straight answer. It's not a yes or no. They'll probably say maybe to it, and then probably not touch it in 20 years. If you do activist, probably not, because there's maybe 100, couple thousand other things happening in the world.
There is not one person that can solve the whole problem. There is, like, everyone needs to do something. Otherwise, I'm really happy in this company where I'm working. They are really aware about this problem. Like, as an example, we use now a lot of public transportation to move groups from A to B. And for us, it's much work, but for the environment, it's much better. If I work in a company where they are aware about the problem, if I'm doing also in my private life something for the environment. So I think this is the way how I can contribute to this problem.
What do you think about people who don't believe in climate change?
I think we are all sitting in the same boat, and you can't ignore this problem. Very simple. You can say no, it doesn't exist, but one day it's the bill coming, and then we have to pay this bill, and this is not going to be so easy to make it change.
Well, global warming is a thing. It's been a thing for the past, 100 years, 200 years. And people don't believe it, some do.
People that doesn't believe, they don't see the problem maybe directly. The amount of people that are going to lose the job, there are like some regions in the world that are not going to even have water, or they already doesn't have water. We are going to pay for this, for not seeing this problem.
Do you know anyone personally that doesn't believe in climate change?
No.
Probably not. I think everybody has climate change. Everybody sees it. Unless you live underneath a rock, then.
I don't know anyone personally that say climate change doesn't, I don't believe it, or it doesn't exist. I don't really anyone personally, like, no. But maybe because it's a different, it's a different continent and different culture. I think maybe they believe, but they don't want to change anything in their life. Maybe they think, oh yeah, climate change, yeah, it's a problem, but okay, it's not my problem, and it's a problem for everyone.
What are the major differences between Americans and either international students or local Swiss people?
I think here in Europe we have very strong values. These values are very into our roots, and we want to protect them. I think companies, for example, in the industry, of course, it's like they need to be profitable and they need to be everything, but they still have like the values of taking care of nature. So this is something I really like here in Europe.
So speaking as an American for myself, Americans don't realize that Europeans are a lot smarter than us. as in keeping the country clean, have a lot of holidays, having certain things where certain places are closed, more efficient when it comes to like travels. We use a lot of gas in America besides here. Here in Europe, you actually see a lot of hybrid cars, more electric cars than gas here, and more use of electric trains. There's now been electric buses that started here. They're Mercedes brands, but there's about 2 or 3 here that drive around, which is quite nice, but also you can't hear the noise. So the noise pollution is going down, which is a huge plus here, especially when everything is more cramped. Everything is easy to get to.
And now I'm coming to the point where I'm trying to change also my behavior, my life, like the way how I act in my daily life to reduce the problem with climate change. Okay, we use here a lot the train, and like me, I use only the train. For example, I don't have a car. I go to work with my scooter, and it's also electrical. So now I am in the part of my life where I want to be more active and help to reduce the problem. As an example, we were talking just today about the times we take an airplane in a year. I was talking with my sister that we want to reduce it so that we can also help the environment. Maybe like we are thinking, we said like we want to take only now maximum twice a year.
In Bern specifically, they take the river to work or to home. They jump in the river and they float instead of using their cars, which is happening now, I believe, which I want to go do. So there's less noise pollution from cars, so that's a good thing. So electric cars and hybrids are very popular here, and they're cheap, which is surprising. People really take kindly to recyclables. We recycle everything. You go to a grocery store, you recycle stuff, you get money back for it, which is good. A lot of stores in the US has that, but people recycle? No, unless you're like 70, then they do recycle. They come in with a big bin, just make about $5, but yeah.
You said you get money back for it?
Yes.
How does that work?
I worked in Germany for about 6 months. If you recycled cans, you get 5 cents back on those cans. So when you buy the can, it gives you an extra charge on it. If you return that can to that certain store that has a recycler, you get basically the money back on it, or a deposit, I should say. You get that deposit back for the receipt. You know, it's not bad for like getting money back, but should we do it for a lot of like cans and plastic bottles? Yeah, sure.
I am a bit sad now with what it's like on the globe. At the end, what we want as a society is to live, to have a better life. This is like the goal, like the global goal. And the question is, are we going in the right direction to have a better future? And I think the answer is no. So we need to act. And of course, then you can go and vote and maybe vote for parties that are more friendly with the environment. But there are like only small steps that you can do in your daily life. But I think if everyone does, it's going to help. And like I am very happy. This is the first time I am having a group from the United States with a focus climate change. Like I was very impressed when I read the information for this group. I was like, wow, interesting. So yeah.